How you doing? I'm the Dodger, dodging trouble, dodging ends, man on a mission. And I'm here to bring you this video, not to earn viewership, but to spread awareness about a growing problem in our field. And when I say our, I mean gamers. If you're not a gamer, please stay. Help learn about some of the dark truths that are affecting the gaming industry right now. If you are a gamer, you might like some other content. Either way, please stay as I reveal to you my thoughts and feelings about what's going on in the gaming industry today. There's this thing called corruption in the gaming industry. A lot of people think they know about it, but they don't really care about it because it's not affecting them directly. I'm here to tell you that it might be affecting you more than you think. Gamers everywhere are aware of the growing marginal gap between game developers and their customers and demographic. It's not always easy being a gamer today. What is typical for games is release dates being pushed back, sequels to classic games being not so much for quality but more for money, constant patch after patch on release day, poor quality servers, and all around bad business tactics made by greedy game publishers. These publishers more often than not get away with it. Ratchet & Clank, Mortal Kombat 10, Batman Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Origins, NBA 2K16, Destiny, and The Last of Us. Just to name a few unlucky products that result from the corruption in the gaming industry. Those are just the most memorable games to suffer from poor business tactics, hurting the game's potential success. There have been a number of effects occurring from all of this corruption. Corruption in the gaming industry has made it hard for new players to get into gaming in this day and age. According to StreetDirectory.com, playing video games has become more popular than watching television. While this statement is true, it is also hard to deny that it's becoming harder and harder to get into video games. Current generation of gaming platforms include PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Besides the multitude of different things that can be done when you compare the PS4 and Xbox One to their predecessors, in order to play a game online with friends, or to utilize any game with an online component to its maximum potential, you must spend additional money to do so. To go from simply buying the console during the PS3 and Xbox 360's time, you must now also pay a membership fee if you wish to play with your friends online. Microsoft and Sony give a free trial of online membership with the purchase of such a console, but it's never enough. Why start charging gamers to do what they've been doing for years amongst themselves on the previous console, one might ask? Unfortunately, the corruption within the gaming industry, the wanton needful lust of money, overcomes the console developers' priority of quality. Not only has the cost to play current generation games gone up with pricey console and membership problems, but the games that are on next generation are not even functioning properly before they hit the shelves. It has become an unspoken theme for games to not work on day one when they go for sale. This is an effect that the game publishers want for money, causing them to apply pressure on the game development teams to meet the release date or reach an even earlier release date, even if the game is not ready by that date. An example of this problem would be Batman Arkham Knight. This game released last year on PS4 and PC. The games are easier to code and develop for console rather than PC, due to the fact that every console has the same hardware, components, and speeds, etc. But the PC port always requires more time and effort and patience because of this fact. With this in mind, the game development team needed more time for PC than console. However, Warner Bros. Games applied tons of pressure to the team and even forced them to release the PC port for the game without being able to finish it. The story was there, but no one could progress because of how subpar and laggy the game was. This game even caused system failures, no matter how impressive or expensive your PC hardware was. It even got to the point where the main PC vendor for video games, Steam, actually started to give refunds, something that was unheard of before this game. What had the potential to be a true legacy-like game went down in history books as one of the worst PC-ported games ever. Because of games like Batman Arkham Knight, now most of the consumers who aren't aware of this corruption, they're just fine with games not working on the first day. Dude, you just bought it today. What do you expect the game to work? No, you gotta wait for patches, man. You gotta wait for the update. I just spent $60 on this game. I expect it to work since I bought it. Like, don't sell me something if it's not functioning properly. Furthermore, games are filled with microtransactions and downloadable content to compensate for missing story. The consumer gets the pricey games and its related fees. Also, actually finds a game that's working properly. They've made it to the promised land, where they can game and game to their heart's content. Unfortunately, as they're earning that gaming overdose and lack of sleep, they feel rather weird about how the campaign of the story left them. The game feels hollow, barren, simple, and empty, like it's missing a piece of the puzzle on family game night. Then, a few weeks later, they notice that there's a new patch for the game. After installing it, the main title screen opens up with an ad to purchase a new DLC that includes new weapons, characters, and new story. More often than not, this has happened, where someone buys a game, finishes the story, and wonders why it abruptly stopped. Then, in the DLC, they give the game a proper ending to the game. The game was already purchased for full price. And now, the gamer has to pay even more money just to finish the story that should have already came with the first purchase. An example of this would be Destiny. It was a very popular first-person shooter with some RPG and MMO elements to it. And this game came out, there was a beta for this game, like most games are doing these days. And the beta, which I had the luxury of being able to play, was awesome. I enjoyed it. I didn't have the recording equipment at the time because this was back on PS4, so I couldn't actually point out some of the bugs or anything. But other people was able to do that for me. And so, the game, while it was in production, and even when it went on sale, the game developers were talking in interviews and YouTube videos and all of that about how after you pay for Destiny, all of the DLC for it would be free. Destiny would have 10 years of DLC. 10 whole years. Now you might be thinking to yourself, whoa, 10 years? I don't know a game that's been played for 10 plus years and the developers keep contributing DLC to it. 10 whole years of DLC? And it's gonna be discounted for us? What? People who played the beta? This is awesome! So everybody who was on the edge about Destiny, and all people who were saying that Destiny weren't cool, all of a sudden, Destiny's the best game ever, and they love their producers and the game developers. And so no other game is worth playing because Destiny's gonna give you 10 years of free DLC, guys. Yes, it's free. I said discounted, but I don't know why I said discounted. 10 years of free DLC for those who purchased the game, who pre-ordered the game. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for the last like 20, 40 seconds. I lied. When you pre-order Destiny, you get 10 years of free DLC. That was the promise that the game publishers made to us. The consumer, we were lied to because not even 3 months later, there was this technicality in the contract or whatever. You know how game publishers like to, and corporations like to weasel their way out of things. There's this technicality. And so the publisher for Destiny was able to just wash all that aside and say, we're not going to give away 10 years of free DLC. That's not going to happen. They're going to pay for this DLC. And it's not going to be 10 years worth either. And to go on top of this, the publishers for Destiny had this DLC that came out called The Taken King. Now this comes back to my point that I made about 4 minutes ago about how game producers like to charge you to buy the game twice because the story is on the DLC and not on the disc. And so that is what The Taken King was. The Taken King was an absurd amount of money. It was even more than the original game cost. This is after the Destiny had already been out, so people have been buying it. You buy the Taken King DLC, and it gives you all the stuff that should have been in the actual game. All the stuff that was hinted at in the game demo, in the game beta, it was in the Taken King DLC. It wasn't on the original disc. There was a lot of stuff that was on the original disc that was locked, and it was usually it's locked behind a paywall, but for Destiny, it was just locked. Like, we knew it was there, but we didn't know how to get to it. You buy the Taken King DLC, you get everything that's on the disc. The actual story in the game, weapons from the game, items, the stuff that you should have got as a consumer for buying it day one. That is what was bought with the Taken King DLC. So that is an example of some more further corruption within the gamer industry. The game developers became shameless in their greed for money, and they were willing to sell playable characters, items, skins, etc. on top of the story that they owe you. This may not seem like much, but in games like Mortal Kombat 10, The Last of Us, Star Wars Battlefront, these characters and weapons are insanely powerful, and it will give you the guaranteed edge against your opponent. Countering against these DLC-only items has proven null and void, time and time again. Not only do they give people an unfair edge online, but they don't even have the common courtesy to properly finish the story, making the gamer pay twice for the same damn game. This is another effect of corruption within the gaming industry. All of the new up-and-coming gamers in the gaming community, this will seem like an annoyance at first. However, to gaming veterans and scrubs alike, the growing problems they face become more and more apparent all too soon. To have to buy games twice, complain to developers for the publisher's greed, and the constant charges of money just to continue playing. This cannot sit well with any of the gamers who have experienced this. Even the gamers who use their parents' money. These ever so growing problems to the corruption of the gaming industry are becoming too much to handle. I want to apologize if my pitch got a little too high, but I feel very strongly about this because I've been a gamer since I was born. Like, I came out the womb with a controller. Okay, I had an N64 joystick, and I just so I'm sorry if I feel strongly about this. But at the same time, I'm not sorry because If I'm getting screwed over for a game that I paid for with my own hard-earned money, even if it wasn't my hard-earned money, it's still a problem. You pay someone for something, you expect them to perform their job well. You don't expect them to screw you over, or you have to pay them twice for the same job. I'm the Dodger, man on the mission. And I'm sorry that the gaming industry has come to such corruption and vileness. It's disgusting. Hey guys, Dodger here. If you like this video and want to check out more of my content, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, in the description box below will be a link to my Twitch channel, because I'm live streaming sometimes. Also, in the link to the very video itself, will be a link to my favorite storytime video if you want to check out the foundation of why I started this YouTube channel. Thanks, and have a nice day.